Hi everyone. Um, this is Radhika here again. I hope you all are doing well. Today I wanted to make a video on what happens to your body physically when you are near a narcissistic situation, like in the middle of it, when you are the victim of it, or what happens when you have PTSD and you are kind of reliving through all the stress that you have been through. So I just want to give a quick disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. Um, I am an engineer by profession actually, so I do not have any qualifications in the medical field. Um, but as a person who is going through this in my own life, I do some research online and I keep on trying to find ways to help myself deal with this. So I'm sharing the techniques that I am using to deal with it and whatever I learn about it. Okay, so all this is just my knowledge, and I do not claim that it is accurate, and it's not like scholarly knowledge. Um, it's something that I'm trying out. So just putting a disclaimer out there. So yeah, try it at your own risk, but it's nothing that is too difficult to do. It's easy things. Okay, so what actually happens to our bodies when we are near a narcissist or we have been in such situations and we are reliving them? So, if we are near the situation, of course, it's happening. But in PTSD or complex PTSD, what happens is because the stress of the situation is so much that we store a part of it in our subconscious, and when that comes out, we kind of relive it. Okay, and when we relive it, our brain thinks it is happening. So it thinks that it is happening right now, and it cannot distinguish that this is a past memory. It cannot distinguish that, so it thinks that it is happening right now, and it will send all the signals to your body which it sent when it was actually happening originally. So what happens is when we are in unsafe situations, situations where we feel physically threatened or we feel like something is attacking us, we what happens is our brain, it stimulates the part of our nervous system which is called as the sympathetic nervous system. Okay, and this sympathetic nervous system is also called as the nervous system that controls our fight or flight. Okay, so animals have this and we also have it. So if we are in a dangerous situation, like if suddenly we are faced by a tiger, um, this response gets activated in our brain, and our brain sends the signals down to our body, and our body has to make a decision. Will you fight the tiger or will you run from the tiger? So it's fight or flight. And it's like if you are in a bank and the bank is getting robbed, and so all these situations where you feel threatened, you will your body will automatically trigger it. It's not like so much that we are doing it, it's just that we are in that situation, so our body is trained to do this. So what happens in the long term? Okay, so actually for me, when my fight or flight response gets triggered, I usually run, but I sometimes fight. But as soon as it gets triggered, I feel like a hot flash in my body, and my cheeks get red, and I get very, very hot. I just feel like I feel heat, a lot of heat, and I think that's my blood pressure because I have a blood pressure problem. So whenever I am in that situation, my heart starts beating very fast. I mean, everyone's heart starts beating fast when they are in that situation, but for me, it results in high blood pressure. So yeah, that's what happens to me. So this is in the short term. Okay, so um, if you face this situation like say once a week, this is going to happen. Now what the worst thing that happens is when you have to be in this fight or flight mode, when your sympathetic nervous system is activated again and again and again and again. Okay, so all the time you are always in that fight or flight mode. So when that always happens, you for the long term, what happens is um, it affects a lot of parts in your body. Okay, it will affect your salivary gland, so you will not release so much saliva. Because of that, food will not be digested well. Even your stomach will not digest food well. Your liver will release a lot of glucose. Okay, so this can cause diabetes. Your heartbeats increase. This can cause blood pressure. It also affects the kidneys, bladder, and intestines. Okay, so this nervous system is not, it's not a bad one. It's necessary to protect us when we need it. But the wrong thing happening here is that it's being activated a lot of times, all the time. So when you are in such a situation where you are being targeted all the time, your nervous system is responding because it knows that you are being targeted. Okay, and so that's what happens. And small animals like rats or rodents, insects, lizards, they are mostly always in this mode. Okay, they're always in flight or fight mode, but they are very small, so their digestion system is also small. Everything in their body is small, so they are made that way. But we as human beings are not made to be triggered all the time, and that's what causes a lot of diseases in our body, because we are in this situation where which is not good for us, even physically and mentally. um yeah, so how do we counter this? Okay, so basically, along with the sympathetic nervous system, there is also something called as the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, para means beside, so it sits beside the sympathetic nervous system, and this parasympathetic nervous system is the one which is also called as rest and digest. Okay, so usually your body, after you eat something, it goes into like a slumber state, and in that state you are relaxed because you have just fed yourself, and you have relaxed and you are digesting it. Okay, so if you see a lion, and it's hungry, the lion is hungry, it will go after like a herd of deer. It will kill a deer, it will eat that deer, and after it has eaten the deer, it will sit near the herd of the deer, and it will just sit there. And even the deer, the ones that have not been killed, they will still be there just near the lion, because they know that the lion is not killing them for fun. The lion is killing them to feed his tummy. So basically, the lion, when he's killing, he's in the fight mode. Okay, he is ready to fight to get his food because he's hungry. That's how he survives. And the deer is also in fight or flight mode. Okay, and sadly the deer loses, and that's how the lion is fed. And after the lion is fed, he goes into this parasympathetic mode, which is rest and digest. He will sit there and he will digest his food. Okay, so what happens is, this parasympathetic nervous system is the one which we feel, which is activated when we are relaxed, at peace, and not afraid of anything going wrong, around us. So both of these are a part of the autonomic nervous system, and there's a really good diagram that I found online, and I'll add the URL in the description box and you can see it there. I can actually show it, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. Let me try. I think it's hard to see because it's highlighting and then it's going. So you can see this diagram in detail in the URL that I have given below. So basically the parasympathetic nervous system or the sympathetic nervous system, one of the two, okay, because you cannot be in fight or flight mode and relax at the same time. You have to be, it's either or, okay, either you're here or you're there. There might be some time where you're moving from here to there, like you're changing gears. So yeah, so basically what do we want to do? How can we stop this? Okay, so what we can do is, now that we know that the narcissist is not attacking us, I mean they are, but we know the psychology behind it, right? We know that the narcissist will attack just about anyone. So now our brain knows that it is not an unsafe situation, because we have made the narcissist irrelevant. We have made all the comments they say irrelevant. They shouldn't matter to us, okay? And that's what we are aiming towards, that let them say anything they want, let them do anything they want, as long as it's not like actually affecting your safety. If they keep criticizing you, if they keep putting you down, if they keep saying bad things to your parents or people you love, or they diss your culture, whatever they do, and or your work, or they say that you are not a good communicator in office, they take credit for your work. So all these things are trigger points, right? They would trigger your sympathetic nervous system. So what do you do at this point is that you you make strategies so that as soon as your sympathetic nervous system starts kicking in, you sense that, oh, my breathing is starting to become fast. I'm not breathing slowly and completely, I'm breathing like as if I'm in danger. So what you do is you relax yourself and you do strategies which are there um, to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so I'll make another video on how to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system, if you look at the diagram also, you will see there is one nerve which goes from your brain throughout your body. Okay, and that's called as the vagus nerve. And this vagus nerve is what controls most of the parasympathetic nervous system. So if we find ways, there are ways to stimulate this vagus nerve. So when you stimulate it, what will happen is slowly your body physically, it's like you are rebooting, you're rebooting the computer with a push. So it will reboot, it will try to boot up your parasympathetic nervous system, and it will try to shut down your sympathetic nervous system. Okay, so these are some physical ways in which you can help yourself when you are around the narcissist. So along with taking care of your mental health, you also have to take care of your physical health when you are near such situations, because I have seen how adversely your health can get affected when you are in such situation, near such situations, or even if you keep on thinking about such situations. I know it is hard to stop thinking about them, but what happens is we suffer a lot, and not just mentally, even physically. You will see the effects of of such suffering, and it results in diseases, okay, like high blood pressure and all this. And I have been through this, and I'm trying to fight it off. So yeah, I hope this gives you some help, and I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thank you. Bye.